I met a seemingly feminine person who identified as a boy. X. Mascara, dress, heels.
I've met someone exactly like that. A trans man with very obvious and feminine traits and fashion style. Wearing a tight red tube dress, makeup, nails, shoes, everything. I was also surprised at first as it was my first time interacting with such an individual, even though I'm surrounded by lots of non-binary people. Then I thought about it, and if a cis guy can like to wear dresses, why couldn't a trans guy like them? Years ago I worked with a man who just liked to wear dresses. He had a wife and family. I'm told at home he presented as a typical man. But he would arrive at the print shop and change into a dress. None of us would ever acknowledge the change or even speak about it. It was just presented as matter of fact. And to add to the conversation, there were people like Prince, who as far as I could tell was a straight male but loved to dress in lace, and Bowie, who had his androgynous face.
There's a difference between fashion choices and gender identity. Sometimes they go together, sometimes not. No big deal. And it's fair to ask. As long as you're respectful and use the pronouns they specify. No worries. I have found that in situations like these, the vast majority of people don't mind genuine questions. Something like, "Pardon my ignorance. I want to make sure I'm treating you as you'd like to be treated. I've been told you identify as male. Is that right? Would you help me to understand why you dress in a more traditionally feminine style?" Obviously this doesn't work if you're just harassing the person. But my experience is that genuine curiosity and interest can get you all sorts of insight into people's thoughts and perspectives. Source: I'm a dad to kids with a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community. And at least 2 of my immediate family members are also a part of that community.
Clothes or makeup don't have gender, so you can wear something that is typical for the other sex without considering yourself transgender, etc.
I know people who do not put any limitations on their styling choices and will dress in whatever they want and style their hair, makeup, etc. in various ways based on how they want to appear that day. It was explained like this: "Why should I limit myself to half the palette?" Quote, "I can't argue with that. Oh yeah, especially for Gen Z, fashion is not the same as gender. It doesn't make any sense to me either. But I guess if it makes somebody feel good, there's no real harm. They just shouldn't get mad if people who don't know them well use the wrong pronouns." There's a difference between gender identity and presentation. So someone can identify as masculine and present feminine. It's fair to ask as long as you're being respectful and not invalidating them for what they wear. Whereas everyone is saying clothing has no impact on gender, and I agree. I can understand the confusion when interacting with someone who is 100% presenting as a specific gender and then says that they're the other. I think the term you're looking for is femboy, but I am unaware of that being an actual term where using that doesn't come off as derogatory. IDK. As a someone born a man who was questioned a lot, I don't know if there is a name for that, but I am proud and happy that there are people comfortable in pushing against tradition like that. If men could be just as confident wearing makeup and dresses, we'd find a lot less unhappy people, both trans and cis. It makes it easier for trans people to see that they can be who they feel they are. And it makes it easier for men who aren't very masculine, or for women who are very masculine, to feel comfortable and happy being who they are. People come in all shades. The whole point of these gender politics is to get people to stop trying to put everyone in a box and just let them express themselves however they want. He's just feminine lol. The sexualized term for it is femboy, but it just means a man or boy who presents pretty feminine. IDK. I just got here. I count myself lucky that my brain hasn't thrown me similar curveballs in a culture that still performs lynchings. just the crazy world we live in. People need to try to be different. Literally anyone can dress however they want and still identify a certain way. Hope this helps. Thumbs up. He could be a femboy. They could be a trans male that hasn't started to transition and thus only has female clothes. He could be a trans male that wants to be a femboy. He could be non-binary. He could be in the closet but felt safe enough to ask you guys in the party to refer him as him. But present female otherwise. They could just be a boy that likes girly clothes. Like a reverse crossdresser? Honest advice. There are many valid reasons for someone AFAB to dress feminine and still identify as a boy. So don't mind it and just use their preferred gender. Since it really doesn't matters. Seems like the person doesn't really know what being trans is. If they're perfectly happy showing off their female body, I doubt whether they actually are a boy. That being said, I'd respect what they ask for anyway, as you can't know everything about them. Trans masks can definitely be femboys as well. I'm non-binary trans mask and I'm a femboy. I'm a lot more comfortable dressing femme and have a lot more fun with it now I've realized I'm not a girl.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. ProfessorButtkiss is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.